What's going on out there, family? Thanks for tuning in to your soul mapping astro weather report for July 26th, 2019. I'm Thomas, and the astro weather report is where I synthesize aspects of astrology and the 64 hologenetic archetypes to give you a better idea of some of the energies that will be at play today, from the genetic all the way on up to the cosmic levels.
It is the only consistent truth that there is fate is our fault.
Well, definitely some movement going on today. We have the moon that's making its way through Taurus, and it's going to be making some really positive aspects to Venus and Mercury today. And I just want to say this is really a huge time, between the position of Mars and where we have the sun and the earth. We have the full 31/7 channel active, and the sun is on the 31.2 and the earth is on the 41.2. So over these next few days, and especially right now, this is a huge opportunity to really make some major mutations or move through some of these massive energies that are really going to allow us to move and take some action and connect with that inner leader. I see so many people out there, and this is going to be more so, especially over the next few days. Just watch. There's so many people talking about the leadership that we have in this country and the direction things are going. And, the shadows of these energies, especially where the sun and the earth are about like arrogance and really moving into these kind of like fantasy states. And if you take this in respect to this full channel, especially with the 7 there, this is like, the potential and the possibility of leading people into these kind of fantasy realms out of arrogance and really just, taking over and just being that kind of leader that's not really empathic, not paying attention to what the people are saying or to what somebody in front of them is saying, being tuned into the reality and the truth that's around them, and just kind of leading someone or yourself off into these areas that are really just kind of, fantasies that don't really have any substance to them. They aren't somewhere that's going to be helpful. And I just want to say, this is your opportunity. This is our opportunity to stop talking about doing these things. And it's like, what is going out there and complaining about the current regime or the president or any governors or governments or any of that stuff? What is it going to do? It's like, this is that opportunity to wake up that inner leader and take action yourself on that new direction in your life. Take action on there's so many gates active in the throat right now. Take some action on influencing, because your voice can make a difference right now in influencing the collective, influencing other people around you, really shifting and changing things. And it's not about complaining, it's about coming up with and sharing the possibilities for a better future, for connecting with that inner leader within yourself to make a better life for yourself, get into more alignment with your true soul's path, because that is how you're going to make the difference. It's not anything other than what, it's not what the mind comes up with, that thinks that it's supposed to be, how the world is supposed to be. Now, the mind can do the research and channel and communicate these things that can be helpful for other people, but the things that are really going to make the difference is when you take that action in alignment with your own inner authority in creating the better life that's in more alignment with your internal source. That's what's going to make the shifts, because those actions ripple out within the entire collective to help to reorganize things in the way that the energies can move in these ebbs and flows and currents that they do, and really make some massive shifts. So take advantage of these astrological transits and these energies if they feel in alignment with your authority. The moon's going to trine over to Venus today, where the moon's going to be on the 8, Venus is on the 62, and this is really being able to use the voice to make a contribution, especially when we value those details that we've been going over, that precision in our language, where it is in alignment with who we are on a deep level. The moon's also going to be making a trine over to Mercury, so we really have the ability to mentally craft these stories that are going to be able to make this powerful contribution in one way or another. And this is about really being able to use that creative energy and focus to craft a story that can gain influence that we want in different areas, and really be able to powerfully lead ourselves and others in a direction that is very helpful. Especially, there's so much energy on the throat right now. The 8's in the throat, the 31 is in the throat, and so much energy moving up to this area as well. We really have this powerful ability. This plane coming over right now, I feel like this is also saying, and this has been happening a lot, interestingly enough, in these videos lately. This plane is going off into the direction of my right, and this is really the direction that humanity is moving in, and being able to follow these signals and flows and spirals in themselves and in the collective. We're moving to the direction of the right now, and I'm not talking about the political left and right. I'm talking about the right that moves in these ebbs and flows and spirals. And with the 31 active, the 31 is a logical collective influence that has the ability to channel this inner leader in what is the direction, though, that this leader is going in. It's that spiraling flow of the right that can really take into context these ebbs and flows of energy and pay attention to the cycles, with Jupiter there on the 5. And this is really showing how that we can tune into these cosmic cycles and really align ourselves to these energies. So I really want to stress that these times are really powerful to make some shifts and changes in our life. With the Earth on the 41, this is like, there's so much genetic potential for making these shifts and really there's so many possibilities. In this energy is that of the anticipation to be able to channel that inner energy of our true identity and really be able to make these leaps and be able to take advantage of this mutation that's going on over the next few days. So I'm going to tap into the cards to see what's the overarching energy that we can expect. What can we tune into to help us navigate some of these powerful mutations that are going on right now. Gate 4, this is called youthful folly or formalization, and this is an energy in Leo, and there's going to be a lot more energy on this gate later this month, and this is really about formalization, and this is really about being able to shed those stories that we have within about the way that, these stories that build up about that really cover up that inner youthful energy, right? That inner childlike energy. This is about those shedding off and being able to formulate what we've gone through into a plan that can really help us move and change. And this is also about connecting with that inner child. Look at here, you have and this type of art isn't on the back of all these cards. There is art on the back of all these cards, but some of it's very abstract. This one is specifically as a hummingbird. And what does the hummingbird do? The hummingbird pollinates. It moves from flower to flower, just giving its youthful, childlike nectar, right? Like, it receives nectar for it just tapping into its natural ebb and flow of just flowing to these beautiful places and pollinating these things by really just being itself, right? But it's always tapped into those ebbs and flows, those magnetic currents. And of course, I had a dragonfly just fly by me as well. So there's lots of signs and signals if we know where to look right now. And the dragonfly is a very similar energy in a lot of ways to the hummingbird. It moves in these flows and currents and cycles and has this way of being able to bring about these genetic mutations where it taps into the overarching spirit that goes on. And I feel like this is what this is saying right now, is really being able to succeed despite certain sorts of pieces of the puzzle that may not be obvious right now. If we just tap into that inner source and just ride these currents and these creative childlike flows and energies, we're really going to bring some powerful changes about. And taking this back to the beginning of the talk about that inner leader, the true inner leader has to be able to tap into that inner child, be able to empathically connect with that place within, because really we can't have true empathy without shedding off all of those layers to be able to tap into that game and play like aspect within ourselves and be able to tap into those energies within other people. We have to be able to tap into that aspect that really knows that life is a game and also has that wisdom of the adult, and to be able to tap into and in and out of both worlds. And we can do that by tapping into our own inner authority and really being able to surrender, knowing that this is all a beautiful mystical mystery that has so much potential if we're just willing to look. And I feel like today is going to be a very beautiful opportunity to tap into a lot of different possibilities. So hope this has been helpful for you. As always, tap into your innermost authority, press share, see if it feels right for you, and thanks for tuning in to the Astral Weather Report.